Welcome everybody to this month's edition of Ask the AD. My name is Randy Eaton. I'm the Director of Athletics here at Western Carolina. We thought we'd try something a little new this month, and we do a little video session, trying to reach out, get our fans a little bit more involved with what we do. And instead of reading some of the dribble I write every month, thought you might like hearing some of it, from the horse's mouth, if you will. Also like to invite you some upcoming things we've got in our immediate future. Men's and women's basketball getting ready to go back to Asheville here in a couple weeks. The environment last year was absolutely electric. Would like to invite everybody to come over. Probably will be kicking off, I believe, on Friday. Both the men and women. The first couple of rounds of the women will be played at Kimmel Arena in Asheville. The men will be at the U.S. Cellular Center. I believe that's the name of it now. The old Civic Center, if you will, for the old-timers out there like me in the Southern Conference. You remember it as the Civic Center. But invite y'all to come over. It was a great environment last year every night. We've got a headquarters 2 blocks away from Cellular Center, the Lexington Avenue Brewery. Come join us before every game. There'll be a group of us from the administration there. Some of our other coaches and staff will be there as well. Let me go ahead and like to read a couple of questions that have come in this month and respond to you. Let's see what we got going on here. First question from Mitch. Is there anything in the works to create a CatamountSports app for iPhone and Androids? Mitch, I can't really tell you that we do have something in the works. I know it's a possibility through CBS Sports, who is our partner with our website. It's something we'll look into, certainly, and have to see, cost and benefit. What's it going to cost us? What's the benefit going to be? Everything we do has to relate back to our student athletes. So before we jump into something like this, we want to find out what our annual cost is going to be. What's the manpower that it's going to take away from fulfilling the needs of our teams and our student athletes in order to do something like this. I know I've got a Droid. think it's a great idea. I'll look into it and I'll get back to you in next month's edition. Next question actually are kind of two, from Bob and Drew. 2 items that are Southern Conference oriented. Is the conference going to have a TV deal for football? And number 2, is there a plan to replace App and Georgia Southern if they announce a move up in the next few months? Bob, the first thing I'll say is, yeah, football is going to be with ESPN3 again this year. We're going to work with them. There'll be a limited number of games. There'll be at least 1 game. I think we've got 1, maybe 2 more years in that agreement, Bob. So you will be able to find some games. It won't be all the games, but there will be a select game every Saturday. The second place about replacing App in Georgia Southern, and then Drew's question with the shakeup, what members are looking to go and everything. Folks, all I can really tell you is that right now we know for certain the College of Charleston is leaving us next fall. They'll be joining the Colonial Athletic Conference. We have looked at options. But we're not at the point of really ready to go out and talk to anybody yet. We do think there'll be continued shakeup. We know the Big East has 11 members. How does that impact their choice, impact everybody else as it goes down? Do they take somebody out of CUSA who then would go into the Sun Belt, and then the Sun Belt looks to take some of our members? At this point, we really don't know. So I think what we as athletic directors have discussed is maybe a wait-and-see attitude on this, and maybe talk about it later this spring, possibly next fall. Realize if anybody were to leave, whether it's App, Georgia Southern, or anybody else, they're more than likely still going to be with us for at least 1 year before they leave, which will give us time to talk to some other schools. Right now, we're really not pinpointing or targeting any other institutions. We're kind of looking at the landscape and see how it's changing, and then what will benefit the Southern Conference and the current member institutions the most. Good questions. That's something I hear all the time. Next one is a question from Matt. Hi, Randy. Being a big WCU baseball fan, is there any planning to give the baseball team a dressing room and meeting room facility? Matt, the first thing I'll tell you is we do have a locker room for baseball. It's here. It's obviously not by the stadium. It's here in the Ramsey Center. They do have a pretty decent locker room here. As we're going through our strategic planning process this spring, it'll be finalized probably May or June time frame. We're looking to have a big piece of that will tell us what facilities we need. Baseball is certainly one that we're looking at. We're also looking at the possibility of a new facility to house our 2 track teams, our soccer team. If you see where they're at right now, they are in the greatest need of having something. They are in a building that's probably in the neighborhood of 70 to 80 years old. realistically, it's falling apart. It was part of the old Cullowhee Elementary or Cullowhee High School back in the day. So that's really a need that we've got, along with baseball. We have a lot of facility needs, Matt, and I think the strategic plan will put us in a place that will help us in the coming years, especially if the university begins and we become a part of a capital campaign. We can really look at a plan and strategically build in a manner that benefits all of our programs. Folks, that's it. It was a light month this month. I appreciate the questions. Keep them coming in. I'll be here every month. I don't know if we'll do this video segment. You guys aren't going to want to hear or look at my face every month, but we'll do this from time to time. Again, keep the questions coming in. I thank you for all your support and hope to see you in Nashville in a couple weeks. Take care, y'all.